Howdy everyone, it's been a while since I made a video last, so while I'm taking time to watch some good old Christmas movies from childhood that are on AMC, I'm going to talk about a Beretta 92. This Beretta 92 has been through a whole series of modifications in the past 2 years since I got it. Started off life as a 92 FS, you can tell by the slide. And it was one of the law enforcement models, so it came with three 15-round magazines that were parkerized. One of the first things I did when I got it was, ordered up these wood grips and enlarged magazine release. So I'm going to go through everything, kind of from butt to muzzle. So, obviously this gun has been safety checked, by the way. 17-round magazine. This is the actual factory Beretta magazine, probably still made by Metgar anyway. It's blued finish. I never really used the 15 rounders. Like I mentioned, I have these wooden grips. These are Italian walnut, if I'm not mistaken. And I changed the Allen head or hex head screws to the slotted screws because I tend to like those a little bit more. With the grips, they have this pretty nice checkering, so they do make the grip wider. But at least to me, it feels a lot better. I have a metal extended magazine release. The slide stop's the same. Then the trigger, this is actually the metal trigger with, when I purchased this, it actually came with a different return spring. Inside the grip, which I can't really pull out, underneath the cap here for the lanyard loop, I added a D-spring, which was used originally in the double action Berettas, or double action only Beretta. I think that's the 92D model. In any case, it dramatically reduces the double action pull and cleans up the single action pull. In addition to having a metal trigger and this, which is the Elite 2 hammer. So it decreases lock time slightly, and I dry fire this gun a lot, so you already get a lot of improvement when you do the D-spring, and then you add the metal trigger and the metal Elite 2 hammer. And it's still a bit of creep in the trigger. So, in dry fire, we're facing a safe direction. This is the double action take-up. So, it kind of hangs up a little bit at the end right there. That's probably just because of my grip right there. Single action is where you really, at least to me, I notice it a lot more. So, there's the wall. And then tiny amount of creep, and then so I need to get a trigger pull gauge on there just to kind of get an idea of what it is, but trigger pull is pretty, at least for me, it's dramatically better. As I mentioned, this is a G model, so it's a decock only. Decocker swings back up, and I use the Beretta kit that they introduced after they brought out the M9A3. So it's on both sides, and let's see if I can get it to go down. It's hard to do from that side, but it definitely works quite well. I'm a fan. Now the rear sight is I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, is a Wilson Combat with a U-notch. And I like it a lot more than the 3-dot or the square post that you get on the regular sights, or I think it's the Snowman sight is what they call the original M9 style sight. Going forward here, we have a stainless steel barrel. Just came in the mail today. Thanks, Beretta. And it is threaded. This is the M9A3 barrel, or Vertec. And it actually, originally when Beretta was selling these threaded barrels, they didn't come with the thread protector. But not only that, they come with a thread protector and a orange O-ring. Another thing that you'll notice up there, pardon me here, see if I can do this. It's going to be hard to do with just one hand, but let's see. See the end of it there. I have a full-length steel guide rock that's in there, and it came with a different spring as well. It does add a little bit of weight to the gun, so it's right up front. So it kind of helps with keeping the muzzle down. overall, I'm a fan of this gun. I think if you watch some of my really old videos from like 8 years ago, I dog on the Beretta pretty bad. And honestly, that was from ignorance. Most of my experience previously, before I had this firearm, was with the military M9. And the M9, when they were brand new in 1986, was a good gun. And newer production ones are good guns as well. The problem is that the military is terrible with preventative maintenance on firearms. So in the case of the Beretta 92s, or I'm sorry, the M9, is that they've never really been maintained. So the maintenance they get is when something breaks, typically a locking block, since the TDP for them, if I'm not mistaken, still calls for the Generation 1 locking block, and Beretta's on a third or fourth generation at this point, because the TDP for this gun has pretty much been locked in place since the late 80s, after they had the issues with the slide separating from either hot ammo or incorrect metallurgy. There's controversy on that. But they added basically a flared out end to the pin for the hammer. And that's, if the slide does break, it keeps the rear end of the slide from slamming and, and smashing into somebody's face, which is probably important. But that's it. This is I think 2016 produced Gallatin, Tennessee Beretta 92 converted to a G model. But I love this gun, and yeah, definitely trust my life with it. Not the only handgun or even 9mm I have anymore, but solid gun. If you're thinking about getting a Beretta 92, I'd say get one. If you have the cash, get a Langdon Elite or one of the Wilson models. But thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll probably delve into like a takedown video at some other point. Thanks again.